Very good evening. You're watching Free Press Journal live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I'm Afrida Rahman Ali. With me is Dhairya Gajara, who's a senior reporter of Free Press Journal, also tracks aviation. Thank you, Dhairya, for joining us and welcome.
Thank you. Thank you, Afrida.
Let's, in fact, begin by listening to the minister in Parliament because we are, of course, going to discuss the Air India crash on the 12th of June that took 271 lives. Let's first listen in to how the issue was raised in Parliament, Dhairya, and then you and me will try and understand and decode some of those statements for our viewers.
Our own investigation body, which is the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, which got into the investigation process right after the incident with the subject experts into the site, and they have started their process according to the international protocol, and they have involved subject matter experts, all the international necessary people who are supposed to be participating in the investigation, and they have gone through the first set of investigation process, and they have given us the preliminary report. And if you look at the preliminary reports, sir, AIB, as for the first time, so whenever these incidents happen, and if the black box gets damaged, black box is the flight data recorder, which has all the necessary information which gets recorded. And whenever there is a slight damage that happens, it was always, it came to that point, sir, where we were sending the black box outside to the original equipment manufacturer to come out with the suggestions or to come out with the exact cause of what happened and to come out with the further future action on, it can be the Boeing 787 or the series or the fuel switches and many things which have come under question, or the avionics, which you have also mentioned in your question. To have a definitive answer and a definitive future correction measures, we have to look at the final report, sir. And I can say this to the House and through you to the people of this country also, that the AIB has a very definitive, thorough, rule-based process. They are very transparently looking into the process right now, and they are totally unbiased. This also I can say that the AIB is totally unbiased and looking into the facts. Now, there can be many questions also. I have seen multiple articles myself. I have seen multiple articles not only by the Indian media, but also the Western media trying to promote their own narrative, their own viewpoint, their own kind of consideration. But I have to tell you that the way we are seeing the investigation is through the facts. We want to stand by the truth, not what is happening with the pilots or not what is happening with the Boeing or not what is happening with the Air India or any other stakeholder which is this. We want to stand by the truth. We want to find out what exactly happened, and that is only going to be coming out once the final report has been placed.
So we are then at this point where the minister is basically saying that there are more details to come out, but he is also vouching for the authenticity of the AIAB report. That it's a completely unbiased report. Dhairya, if you were to give me a few big takeaways from what the minister said, because the opposition came very well prepared to target the ruling party. It raised the issue of previous such instances. It has raised the issue of how the switch can go from run to cut off, transition from run to cut off. All the important questions were raised, but give us a gist and understanding of how the minister responded to those questions.
Yes, Afrida. So definitely the minister was very optimistic with his statement and how he was praising AIB's work. And definitely the work is it demands praise and of course they have submitted the report within their 1 month time frame. But then
Yeah.
a lot of aviation experts have raised concerns about this report, that the report, rather than answering a lot of questions, it has raised many more questions for everybody. And the reporting itself, the report, it is said that it is a very poor reporting about, even the cockpit recording, it is not complete. So they have only mentioned one line from the cockpit recording, which also leaves everybody in a doubt that, whether the pilot, the second pilot who said that, no, I did not cut off the fuel switches, was he speaking the truth or was he lying? So there are a lot of questions that are still unanswered, but definitely, as the minister said, all the questions would be answered only when we have the final report in our hand.
Yeah. A couple of important things there, Dhairya, and feel free to interject if you want. I wanted to bring to attention the points that were made by the opposition members. And one of the critical points, which of course you and me have also discussed before, is that the matter of the fuel switch was already under investigation, that Boeing has been under scrutiny. In fact, Rashtriya Janata Dal member Manoj Kumar Jha has raised this question about the government's response to the 2018 Special Airworthiness Information Bulletin, that is the SAIB, from the United States Federal Aviation Administration regarding the potential disengagement of the fuel control switch locking feature on some Boeing aircraft. So this matter, as it turns out, is already under scrutiny. The precise matter which the government is also citing about the fuel control switch locking feature has shown some malfunction, owing to which there is scrutiny. There's an investigation that is going on. So Boeing also, Dhairya, has a lot to answer in this.
Definitely, there are a lot of questions that are against Boeing at the moment, and the most important is, of course, the switch disengagement, which has also been, as you mentioned, has been raised by the FAA of the United States. And in 2018, the FFA had raised concerns about this particular fuel switch disengagements on Boeing's 737 aircraft. And we can say that maybe the same issue has also pertained here with the 787 Dreamliner as well. So there are chances as well, but the preliminary report, it does not go much deeper. And very shocking is that the preliminary report mentioned that no suggestions have been given to Boeing or even the engine manufacturer as of now. So while there are a lot of questions against Boeing, there are a lot of concerns that have been raised against Boeing. There is no notice to the company, or no communication with the aircraft manufacturer.
Yet, even as we question Boeing, let's be fair that we can't completely absolve DGCA, right? Because this matter was also raised, that several Rajya Sabha members actually asked questions about why so many technical positions in DGCA are vacant. I'm not saying they're in any way directly connected to this crash, but I'm saying that if there is an entire department which require a certain amount of manpower, why are we not paying attention to filling those positions? These are critical positions, technical positions. It is about air safety after all. Why is it that the government does not fill these technical positions? Do you think there, at least the ruling party was cornered about these vacancies in technical positions?
Yes, definitely, Afrida. It is a very huge concern that so many positions in DGCA are still vacant. The minister said that they had the historic figure that was completed last year in terms of hirings at DGCA, with 103 hirings that happened last year, and this year they are claiming that they'll complete 190. But still, the fact remains that the DGCA, it still has vacancies of 500, and it has vacancies on 503 technical posts. These are Group A technical posts, and this information has been received through RTI, and it is the information was on 10th of June, the 10th of July this month. So
Yeah.
even if they hire 190 people this year, still they have more than 300 positions which are vacant. And although, as you said, that we cannot directly blame these vacant positions for the crash, but then we will be wrong if we say that this indirectly doesn't affect the operations of airlines, because DGCA is the one who is looking after the operations. DGCA is the aviation watchdog. So there's a lot that is slipping out of the from the eyes of the authority, which is in charge of ensuring safety of airline operations. So definitely there is, and even aviation experts have been saying that DGCA vacant positions are a big concern, and somewhere in such accidents and in such crash incidents, we come to know what is the importance of such vacant positions.
Such vacant position. Absolutely, Dhairya, I agree with you. And in fact, the minister said that these are highly specialized positions which we are still waiting to find the right candidate. So that was the explanation. Clearly, there are gaps in the system, isn't it? I mean, not to connect it directly with this crash, but let's face it, any of these things could mean that system is not running efficiently. The entire system is not robust. So it is only fair that we raise these questions, and I'm glad you pointed that out. I want to ask you one last bit, Dharya, about the previous instances that were cited. This is not the first time that an engine shutdown had happened. It is a different matter that those incidents did not lead to a crash, which means that unless something of this magnitude and such a catastrophe happens, we simply forget to pay attention to small things. And this was, in fact, pointed out by one of the members of parliament. And she said, NCP MP Fauzia Khan, who revealed that RTI data has shown 65 incidents from 2020 to 2025. And the example of Air India 131, which was forced to turn back in 2023 after an engine shutdown. It's a different matter that it did not lead to deaths or a crash, but these incidents have happened before, and it was perhaps not taken as seriously. Was the minister able to satisfactorily respond to those cases?
Yeah, definitely, it's a very pressing concern that such issues happen every other day, and it has become very normal for Indian aviation to witness such incidents every day. And as we know, even today there was, a very close shave of Air India flight at Mumbai airport,
Yeah, exactly.
and
Yes, please tell us
yes,
about that. Yeah.
so the Air India flight, it actually, of course, the weather was not very feasible for the aircraft to land. But since Mumbai Airport is this high tech and very modern airport, it has all the equipments to allow the aircraft to land safely, even during heavy rains. But still, the aircraft suffered a hard landing. There was a lot of damage that was suffered to the aircraft, its engines, its tail. But then again, uh, you know, there was a lot of damage to the runways when they had to shut down the runway. The runway still has been shut down, and there are repair works going on. Although fortunately there have been no injuries in this case, but such cases, they tell us how deep impact this all these scenario has on everyday aviation operations. And
Yes.
but we have been ignoring such instances forever. But after Air India crash, such incidents are
Every
coming to
small
light
thing
more.
must be addressed. Yes,
Yes, yes.
must be
Because
addressed.
because
I take your
because
point.
in aviation, every small incident means you are playing with lives of maybe at least 200 or 300 people. So there
Yes.
is a lot of concern regarding such small incidents. If there is concern regarding such small incidents, only then we can try to avoid such huge incidents.
Absolutely, Dhairya. You put it so well that every small incident, if it is addressed at the right time, perhaps these big incidents will not happen at all. It is only because we ignore, and you rightly pointed out this incident that's happened today, which means these incidents are happening with an alarming regularity. And there is quite a bit of oversight when a major tragedy does not happen. It is as if all is well, all's well that ends well, but that is not the case in aviation, as Dharia is rightly pointing out. In aviation, you cannot do all's well that ends well, because there is no margin for error. You're playing with lives. Thank you so much for joining us, Dharia. Really appreciate your time. Thanks for giving us
Thank
the
you.
details.
Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to leave our viewers with this soundbite of Ashok Chavan, who was again being from the ruling party, has also raised important questions. Let's listen in.
अंतिम रिपोर्ट नहीं आती है तब तक स्पष्टता होती नहीं है और ये मामला इलेक्ट्रिकल है या इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स रिलेटेड है ड्रीम लाइनर्स हाईली रिलायंट ऑन दीज इश्यूज है मैनुअल तो हो नहीं सकता क्योंकि दोनों पायलट की जो कन्वर्सेशन है वो स्पष्ट हुई कि दोनों ने इसमें कोई गलती नहीं किया है ये उनके जवाब से स्पष्ट हुआ है
पायलट बॉडी ने भी सवाल उठाए कि जो प्रीलिमिनरी रिपोर्ट को लेकर कहा कि पायलट के
It is too early to comment on this report unless the final report is received. I think that would be the appropriate time to comment on that.
All right, let's also listen in to the union
suspected
minister.
to be caused by a software or computer glitch. In the light of this precedent, has any clarification been sought from Boeing, the engine manufacturer, GE Aerospace, Genex, and Honeywell, which provides avionics, propulsion systems, landing systems, cockpit and cabin electronics, and various components for this aircraft regarding the Ahmedabad incidents? And also, we understand that, that a number of airlines world over have grounded their Boeing 787 Dreamliner fleets after the Ahmedabad air crash. So I would like to know from the Honorable Minister that is this a malfunction in the aircraft's electrical system? Could the same issue that caused the electrical failure system also have led to the interruption of the fuel supply to the engines? So all these issues come to the fore. And going by the conversation which was recorded in the cockpit voice recorder, the fuel supplies to the engines was cut off. The recorded conversation indicates that neither the captain nor the co-pilot manually cut off the fuel switch. This raises a significant question. So we would like to know from the Honorable Minister that going by the preliminary report which has just been received, what is the cause of this shutdown of both the engines? Was it electrical failure or electronic failure? Or what are the preliminary findings which would lead to us to know the exact causes of these incidents?
Thank you.
Chairman, sir, the honourable member has asked a very serious and very comprehensive question regarding the incident that has happened in Ahmedabad. Sir, I would like to start by answering that the investigation process, which is according to the international protocol, the norms which were set by International Civil Aviation Organization, where the state of operation should have their investigation body, and we have our own investigation body, which is the Aircraft Accident Investigation Bureau, which got into the investigation process right after the incident with the subject experts into the site, and they have started their process according to the international protocol, and they have involved subject matter experts, all the international necessary people who are supposed to be participating in the investigation, and they have gone through the first set of investigation process, and they have given us the preliminary report. And if you look at the preliminary report, sir, AIB, as for the first time, so whenever these incidents happen, and if the black box gets damaged, black box is the flight data recorder, which has all the necessary information which gets recorded. And whenever there is a slight damage that happens, it was always, it came to that point, sir, where we were sending the black box outside to the original equipment manufacturer to come out with the suggestions or to come out with the exact cause of what happened, and to come out with the further future action on, it can be the Boeing 787 or the series or the fuel switches and many things which have come under question, or the avionics, which you have also mentioned in your question. To have a definitive answer and a definitive future correction measures, we have to look at the final report, sir. And I can say this to the House and through you to the people of this country also, that the AIB has a very definitive, thorough, rule-based process. They are very transparently looking into the process right now, and they are totally unbiased. This also I can say that the AIB is totally unbiased and looking into the facts. Now there can be one way that is also coming into operations, and then